All right, let's start with a big story that we are tracking at this hour on WION, where India has rejected Pakistan's baseless allegations over terror. In its right to reply at the United Nations General Assembly, India has vehemently dismissed Islamabad's allegations that it was responsible for causing unrest in Pakistan. Now, Islamabad did not fall short of making a mockery of its own tragedy by claiming that India was behind the 2014 school attack in Peshawar, where more than 100 young students had been gunned down by the Taliban. Remember, the Taliban had claimed responsibility for the horrific attack, which was condemned all over the world, including by India. Let's listen in to what India's counselor at the United Nations had to say.
My delegation came to this August Assembly to listen attentively to the new Foreign Minister of Pakistan outline the vision of a new Pakistan. What we heard is a new Pakistan cast in the mold of old. Mr. President, I am therefore constrained to take the floor to exercise India's right of reply to reject the baseless allegations made by the Foreign Minister of Pakistan.
All right, so that was the right to reply exercised by India on the floor of the United Nations General Assembly. India has strongly hit back at Pakistan, saying that Islamabad funded terror organizations with a motive to destabilize the neighborhood. Now, taking a firm stand on Kashmir, India said that the new Imran Khan-led government should make it entirely clear, absolutely clear, that the entire state of Jammu and Kashmir is an integral, sovereign part of India. Meanwhile, Pakistan only had to say that India was in the habit of fabricating facts and turning down offers for dialogue on flimsy grounds.
Mr. President, I take the floor to exercise a right of reply to the statement made by the Indian representative. Her diatribe was a reflection not only of the deep-seated Indian hostility towards my country, but also reflected the Indian habit of conflating fact with fabrication.
All right, now for more on this, we are joined in by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, who is presently in New York and is tracking all the developments for us. Now, Siddhant, let me begin by asking you this. It was a heated exchange that took place between the Indian and the Pakistani side. Give us a sense of what actually took place in New York.
Well, Saleh, it was a day of war of words between India and Pakistan at the United Nations General Assembly, starting with India exposing Pakistan's duplicity. The Indian External Affairs Minister highlighted how Pakistan even betrayed its own ally United States by giving safe haven to Osama bin Laden, and also highlighted how Pakistan may be saying it wants dialogue but is sponsoring terrorism in India and specifically Indian state of Kashmir. But what Pakistani Foreign Minister had to offer was just raking up Kashmir, old rants, and of course the biggest thing which came out was a new allegation that Peshawar attack which took place had Indian links. Of course, India has rejected that. India in its right to reply rejected that, saying that that India was one of the first countries to condole it, and also Indian diplomat Enam Gambhir talked about how Pakistan has its own poor record on human rights, and basically what the Pakistanis had to offer at the United Nations today was lies, deceit and distortion of facts, and that is what Pakistan has been championing the cause of. The Pakistani Foreign Minister even held a press conference, special press conference after the UNGA speech to come down heavily on India. WION was present there, but the officials there didn't like our presence and asked us to leave that press conference, and since it was a cordial request, we had to believe that because it was a room full of Pakistani journalists. Right. So that of course is another story, but by and large it was India-Pakistan war of word at the United Nations General Assembly today. A hectic day today.
Absolutely indeed, Siddhant. Just to stay on that allegation levelled by Pakistan, this baseless allegation that India was perhaps behind the Peshawar school attack, in which almost about 149 people, including 132 children, were gunned down in December 2014. Now, at that time, it was abundantly clear that it was the Tehreek-e-Taliban which was responsible for the attack, a group that actually starts and found a haven within Pakistani soil. And now for Pakistan to come out and blatantly lie and accuse India for being responsible for that attack clearly exposes the duplicity of their offer of talks, because there is absolutely no premise to pursue talks with Pakistan.
Well, rightly said, and a new allegation coming from Pakistan, but it seems that the new government has the new tendency to come out with a new false fact. The Pakistani foreign minister even talked about Kulbhushan Yadav, saying that allegedly he has given all the evidences, but on Peshawar attack, Pakistan only spoke. It was an allegation. It had nothing to give on paper, on as an evidence to the United Nations or to India. But all throughout the week, we saw Pakistan being a solo player. The Pakistani foreign minister was gleefully talking to the Western media, speaking about his view of the world, Naya Pakistan, and ranting about India, and specifically making remarks about the Indian External Affairs Minister, saying that for him, she looked pale when she entered a SAARC room, SAARC informal meet room, and said that there were strains of electoral politics taking a toll on her. That is why India called off talks. But Pakistan, it has its own trajectory when it comes to global policies, and here at the United Nations General Assembly too, Pakistan was a solo player. So clearly Pakistan again isolated, ranting about Kashmir, and had nothing to offer to India, while India speaking about global cooperation, peace, development, climate change. The Indian Prime Minister got a UN award on climate change. India gave a leadership role when it comes to climate change. It had a good story to tell on climate change, while Pakistan continuing with its own isolationist policies.
Absolutely, indeed, Siddhant. Do continue to stay on with us. Now, this shocking allegation by Pakistan, of course, exposes its own duplicity, considering the facts on the ground that the individual, Omar Khorasani, who is responsible, the mastermind behind that Peshawar school attack, was in fact someone who was skilled in a Pakistani operation. Pakistan at that time had responded by lifting a moratorium on the death penalty within Pakistan to crack down on the Tehreek-e-Taliban terrorists. Now, meanwhile, Pakistan has also in many ways exposed itself at the United Nations General Assembly by blatantly lying and engaging in petty blame game yet again. Now, Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has alleged that his country sought a resolution of all issues with India through dialogue, and that it was India that was playing politics by stalling peace talks. Listen in.
हम मरबूत और संजीदा मुज़ाकरात के ज़रिए तमाम तनाज़ात का हल चाहते हैं। पाकिस्तान हिंदुस्तान की मुतवक्की मुलाकात यहाँ अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा में एक अच्छा मौका था तमाम मामलात पर बातचीत करने का। मनफी रवैये की वजह से मोदी हुकूमत ने मौका तीसरी मर्तबा गवा दिया।
And also, it was not surprising either that Pakistan presented a fallacious narrative of Kashmir at the United Nations yet again in utter disregard for facts. Pakistan alleged that it is India that's been violating ceasefire along the line of control.
लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल पर जंग बंदी की खिलाफ वर्जी करता आया है। अगरचे पाकिस्तान ने कभी तहम्मुल का दामन नहीं छोड़ा, ताहम भारत को हमारे सब्र का इम्तिहान नहीं लेना चाहिए। अगर हिंदुस्तान लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल पर किसी भी किस्म के हमले की गलती करता है या महदूद जंग के अपने किसी मंसूबे पर अमल पैरा होने की कोशिश की, तो उसे पाकिस्तान की जानिब से भरपूर रद्द अमल का सामना करना होगा।
And also, the distortion of facts did not end there. Shah Mahmood Qureshi further alleged that Pakistan was in fact at the receiving end of so-called India-sponsored terrorism. This is in many ways shocking, considering that almost all of the terror organizations in fact operate out of the Pakistani soil.
अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा को पाकिस्तान ने सबूत पहले ही फराहम कर दिए हैं। पाकिस्तान की तहवील में भारतीय बहरिया के हाजिर सर्विस कमांडर कलभूषण यादव की मौजूदगी और इसके फराहम करदा नाकाबिले तरदीद सबूत के मुताबिक उसने हुकूमत हिंदुस्तान की ईमा पर पाकिस्तान की सरजमीन पर दहशतगर्दी की माली मामलत और मनसूबा बंदी की।
All right, so that was Pakistan's foreign minister there, in many ways raking up several issues, making baseless allegations. And Siddhant, if I can bring you in on this, Pakistan is, of course, trying to project its image of Naya Pakistan, a new Pakistan. But looking at the rhetoric which Shah Mahmood Qureshi has taken to New York, to the UNGA, there is very little that seems to have changed. And if one could also state that by blaming India for the Peshawar school attack, they've in fact struck and struck a new low in many ways.
Well, a Naya Pakistan, but a same old script written by generals in Rawalpindi. And let me tell you about the new foreign minister of Pakistan. He, of course, is a person who is known for his flamboyance. He considers himself as heir apparent to the prime ministership of Pakistan, and in some ways considers himself the future prime minister of Pakistan. And when he was speaking at various locations here, WION was following him, including at the Asia Society, where he made disparaging remarks against the foreign minister of India, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj, talking of course about the electoral strain. But he has been proved many times wrong, specifically when it comes to dealing with the United States of America. When of course the UNGA started, there was a dinner reception in which all the delegates were called, including him. Later on, he gave a bite saying he met the President of the United States, and they talk about resetting ties between Islamabad and Washington. The White House said no, that was not the case. He was proved wrong, and this is not the first case. Remember when the new government took charge in Pakistan, he said that India has proposed a dialogue, which was not the case. So he's a person who has a long history of peddling lies, and today at the United Nations General Assembly, he was just doing that, something that is inherent to Pakistani establishment. And they like a broken tape recorder, they continuing playing that same old script of Kashmir about false allegation. And this time around, the tensions were much more higher because India made sure that talks and terror policy stays intact, and because of the fact that Indian Jawans were killed by Pakistan-based proxies, India cancelled the talks. Pakistan is not able to get that, and that frustration was translating into words, and that is why Pakistan was deeply frustrated, and in frustration it made remarks that made it more isolated on the global stage. That's the United Nations General Assembly.
Absolutely indeed, Siddhant. Thank you very much indeed for joining us from New York and getting us all those inputs of what is happening at the UNGA. Although there is a new government in Pakistan, it is the same old script that is playing out, and perhaps the premise of all talks should be truth. And in many ways, what in fact was said by the Pakistani foreign minister at the UNGA hardly in fact points towards a direction that Pakistan is in fact serious about holding talks with India.